On today's show, we've got news for Arizona Cardinals fans to be excited about. I think we need a little bit of that in Arizona right now. So let's talk about the positive news we just got from ESPN for the Arizona Cardinals. Welcome into Cardinals Today, presented by Prize Picks. I am your host, Joey O'Donoghue, and essentially how this works is ESPN put out a top 10 list, okay, of the top 10 tight ends in the NFL. But how did they get this list? Essentially, ESPN surveyed league executives, coaches, and scouts, okay? And they all come together, and a composite average of where they place different tight ends is ranked. And so the news that we just got, based on opinions of league executives, scouts, coaches, of who the best tight ends are based on the best tight ends right here, right now in today's NFL. The list looks like this. You won't have to go too far to see why we're talking about this for the Arizona Cardinals, because Trey McBride ranked second, okay, only behind the Raiders' Brock Bowers, George Kittle, Sam LaPorta, Tyler Warren on there to round out the top five. Also Tucker Kraft, Colston, Loveland, who a lot of scouts are high on, young Loveland, Kyle Pitts, Mark Andrews, and Travis Kelce still in the top 10. But the thing is, there were a lot of voters, and there were some, at least one exec, that put Trey McBride as the number one, the best tight end in the NFL. Some guy who didn't know what he was talking about put Trey McBride all the way down at 5, okay? But that's as low as it got. The highest ranking McBride got was number 1. The average ranking he got turned out to be second best tight end in the league, just behind Brock Bowers. One of the bright spots in Arizona is this young man, Trey McBride, and what he can do. And ESPN says that McBride made a serious case for number 1, earning more than 30% of the first-place votes. All but 2 of the votes were inside the top 3 for McBride, whose 126 catches in 2025 marked the most in a single season for a tight end in NFL history. McBride's 72.9 receiving yards per game were nearly 16 more than any other tight end. His 566 yards after the catch were 90 more than any other player at his position. And his 11 receiving touchdowns tied for second league-wide. Long known as a receiving threat, McBride has improved his all-around game. It is just great to see Arizona Cardinals players getting this sort of respect from across the league and from national media. Because I think a lot of times people sleep on the Cardinals. They write us off. Okay, and nobody thinks they're going to be good next year. And as a result, a lot of the players being in this, smaller fan base and not as good football team don't get the respect that they might deserve. Like a lot of the players in the Cardinals roster are actually very talented, but everybody says that their roster's not good. I'm glad to see that the people who make decisions in the NFL know just how good Trey McBride is, and they rank him that high. And you saw in that quote that 30% of them gave him first-place votes. Like, it's a big honor, and it is something positive and encouraging to see as a Cardinals fan. And an NFL coordinator, who remained anonymous, said that Trey McBride, ball skills, ball in hand, physical ability, just an extremely impressive player across the board, and not bad in the run game. And so that's been the other sort of consensus about Trey McBride all of a sudden, is that he's an all-around tight end. We know he's a receiving threat, but he really is decent at doing everything. Receiving is just his bread and butter. That's his number 1 skill, and you can see it by the numbers on your screen, where he's back-to-back 1,000-yard receiving seasons as a tight end. But it's not just 1,000 yards. We're talking 1,200, 1,100 in back-to-back years, right? And then 11 touchdowns last year. It is fantastic what we got to witness. One of, again, the silver linings, the lone bright spots of the Cardinals season. And then according to Next Gen Stats, his 71.5 receiving expected points added was easily the best among tight ends and 4th among all pass catchers. So not even just tight ends, all pass catchers. Like, he is a special receiving threat to have on your football team and on your roster. And so I do want to know, a lot of positives being said about Trey McBride. Do you think he should have just been straight up the best tight end? Should he have been ranked number 1 over Brock Bowers? If you think so, let me know in the comment section by typing Y for yes. If you don't think so, then type N for no. If you think 2 is the perfect spot for him, sound off in the comment section where you would rank Trey McBride. But maybe he should be number 1, all right, because he's that dang good. We got more from ESPN coming up on this matter, so stay tuned, and it will affect another player on the Cardinals roster. But first, want to let you guys know Prize Picks is the place to go, and they made today's show possible. Player picks are on fire right now. There's no better place to cash in while watching sports than with Prize Picks. Guys, the app's really easy to use. You pick more or less on a few player stats and lock in your lineup. With the social feeds feature, you can follow your friends, share lineups with each other, or explore your favorite celebrity lineups right there on the Prize Picks app. You can find my lineups at JoeyOD1. That's my username. And we got Spain, France going on right now. I have the more on Mbappe and Lamine Yamal shots on targets. And then tomorrow, I'm going more than half a goal for Harry Kane and more than 39.5 passes attempted for Lionel Messi. He has still been getting it done for his squad. You guys can make the same lineups as me or make your own. If you download the PrizePicks app today, though, and use code HMA, you get $50 in lineups when you play your first $5 lineup. Link is in the comments section and description of today's video. That is code HMA to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks. It is good to be right. And, let's compare Trey McBride to every other single tight end in the NFL. Every other tight end. All right, in 2025. Targets, he was first. Receptions, he was first. Yards, he was first. Touchdowns, he was second. Yards after contact, he was first. I mean, seriously, take a picture of this, dude. Write it down. Whatever you need to do to show your friends, show your Raiders fans who think Bowers is better. Whatever you need. This is unbelievable. And I'm not cherry-picking stats here. I mean, these are all the top stats when you talk about receiving. Targets, receptions, receiving yards, and the touchdowns. He's nearly the best at everything. Okay? This is a man to celebrate. And ESPN did call McBride the Cardinals' biggest strength overall as well heading into next season, okay? We talked about this in another show, so go watch that if you haven't already. But Trey McBride was listed as the Cardinals' biggest strength overall. Mike Clay of ESPN says it's tight end. Starts and ends with Trey McBride, who has emerged as one of the NFL's top playmakers at the position. The 26-year-old is the only tight end in the league history with 110-plus catches in more than one season. In 2025, he became the only tight end to reach 120 catches, 1,200 yards, and 10 touchdowns in a season. I mean, there's a remarkable stat for everything Trey McBride lately, it feels like. So do you agree? What do you think the Cardinals' biggest strength is? Is it tight end? Let me know in that comment section. The best part of the Arizona Cardinals right here, right now. My diehard Cardinals fans, comment that down below. I'll see what you guys think it is. Another list that ESPN made. Same concept. Surveying league executives, scouts, coaches, right? Is edge rushers. The top 10 come in as follows. Myles Garrett, Micah Parsons, Will Anderson Jr., Max Crosby, Aiden Hutchinson. I mean, no complaints there really with that top 5. Danielle Hunter, TJ Watt, Nick Bosa, Brian Burns, and Nick Bonito, all absolute studs. I mean, there's a lot of talented edge rushers in this league, and it's a premium position. Then some honorable mentions include Jared Verse, who was just shipped out of the NFC West and over to the Browns. Trey Hendrickson, Josh Hines Allen, also honorable mentions on this list. Okay, so that's 13 edge rushers. Still missing a name here. Let's get to who else received some votes. Trayvon Walker, Jalen Phillips, Montez Sweat, Nick Herbig, Laitu Latu, and Alex Highsmith are the only other players listed on this list of edge rusher rankings by NFL executives. And so, where's Josh Sweat? Which named 19 edge rushers. Okay, ESPN gave the top 10 based on everybody else in the league. And then they put honorable mentions. And then they put 6 more people that got votes but couldn't crack the list. Josh Sweat didn't even get a vote. Not a single vote as one of the best edge rusher, a top 10 edge rusher in the league. When you look at what he did last year, the 12 sacks should have woken everybody up. Okay, but he's also pretty consistent. It's not his first double-digit sack season. And so what I think is happening here, folks, it's all starting to become crystal clear that NFL teams, despite his 12 sacks and 4 forced fumbles last year, don't value Josh Sweat that much, that high. They think he's a good piece. They think he's a talented piece. They don't think he's elite. They don't even think he's top 19 at his position. And that's why Josh Sweat has not been traded. So say what you want about the rumors. Say what you want about Josh Sweat. Maybe he's happy in Arizona. Maybe he's not. You can speculate that all you want. Josh Sweat has not been traded because the offers aren't good enough. Teams won't pay as much as the Cardinals want for Josh Sweat. Clearly, the consensus around the league is he's not valued that high. That's why Arizona's able to land him in free agency in the first place. That's why they can't move him, even if he's unhappy and doesn't want to be there. And again, those are reports that Josh Sweat's unhappy. I'm not even talking about those right now. I'm talking about the fact that teams did call about Josh Sweat, but no deal was done because I don't think they're willing to pay higher than a third-round pick for him. And the Cardinals are like, well, why would we do that? So maybe, those numbers are a little fudged. I have seen comments saying that Josh Sweat's sacks didn't come in big moments, something of that nature. Let me know if you know what I'm talking about, but sound off for me in the comment section. Don't you think Josh Sweat should at least be a top 19 edge? Yes or no? Get in the comment section and type a yes or a no. Do you think Josh Sweat should have been at least mentioned on this list in the top 19 that come to mind? Sound off in the comment section, Cardinals fans. But that'll do it for today's show. Thank you so much for tuning in. I've been your host, Joey O'Donohue. Remember, get your opinions down below and subscribe if you have not already for nonstop Cardinals coverage. Appreciate you all tuning in, and I'll see you next time.